I was walking home from work one day when I noticed something strange. It was a small black object on the ground that looked like it had been there for quite some time. As I got closer, I realized it was a cell phone. I picked it up and saw that the screen was shattered, but it still seemed to be working. As I examined the phone, I noticed that it was unlocked and the owner must have left it behind. Out of curiosity, I decided to look through the messages to see if there was any way to contact the owner. That's when I saw a message from an unknown number with the words "Find me." I brushed it off as a coincidence and continued on my way home. But as soon as I got inside, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I decided to look through the phone some more, hoping to find the owner's name or contact information. That's when I found a series of messages from someone named The Collector. "Meet me at the abandoned factory on the outskirts of town," one message read. "I have something you might be interested in." My curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to go to the factory. As soon as I arrived, I saw a figure standing in the distance. It was tall and shadowy, with long arms that seemed to stretch out forever. I tried to run away, but it was too late. The Collector had gotten hold of me. For days he kept me captive in his lair, which turned out to be deep within the factory. He would come and go as he pleased, never revealing his true form or identity. All I knew was that he wanted something from me, but I couldn't imagine what it could be. One day, he finally revealed himself to me. He was a grotesque creature with multiple limbs and eyes all over his body. His skin was pale and slimy, and he smelled like rotting flesh. He told me that he had been collecting people for years, using them as subjects in his twisted experiments. I tried to run away again, but it was no use. The Collector had me trapped. He injected me with a serum that made my skin turn black and my bones crack. I felt like I was dying, but I couldn't escape the pain. Days turned into weeks, and eventually I stopped fighting. The Collector had won. But then something strange happened. One night, as I lay in my dark, dank cell, I heard a faint whisper echoing through the corridors of the abandoned factory. "Help me," the voice pleaded, barely audible. At first I thought it was a trick, a cruel taunt from the Collector, but as the voice grew louder and more desperate, I couldn't ignore it any longer. I had to investigate, with every bone in my body aching and my skin still blackened from the serum. I mustered every ounce of strength I had left and clawed my way towards the source of the voice. The factory was a labyrinth of decaying hallways and rusted machinery, but I followed the sound, guided by an inexplicable sense of purpose. Eventually, I stumbled upon a hidden door, concealed behind a pile of debris. With trembling hands, I pushed it open, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in a dim, flickering light. Inside, I found a sight that defied all logic and reason. It was a room filled with other captives, people who had suffered the same fate as me. They were emaciated, their bodies twisted and broken. Some were barely recognizable as human, their minds shattered by the horrors they had endured. But in their eyes, I saw a glimmer of hope, a spark of resilience that hadn't been extinguished. Together we formed an alliance, vowing to escape the clutches of the Collector and bring an end to his reign of terror. We devised a plan, using our collective knowledge and skills to outsmart our captor. We knew it wouldn't be easy, but the alternative was to remain trapped forever in this nightmarish existence. As the days turned into nights, we trained our bodies and honed our minds, preparing for the inevitable confrontation with the Collector. We shared stories of our lives before captivity, finding solace in the shared experiences that made us human. And amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope began to blossom. We all gathered around the Collector and were ready to strike. However, something strange began to happen. Everyone in the room started going into some kind of seizures. They fell to the ground, convulsing like I'd never seen anyone ever do in their lives. My mind was racing. I was also wondering why only the collector and myself were spared this horrible fate. Just then all the people that had fallen started dying. Some randomly blew up, some caught on fire, while others just turned into some black, bubbly, gooey-like substance. Then something strange started happening. I started to feel better. My skin returned to its normal color and my bones healed. It was as if the serum had been a cure all along. The collector was furious that his experiment had failed so massively, but he let me go anyway. As I walked away from the factory, I realized that something strange had happened to me. I felt different, like I'd gained some sort of power, and then it hit me. The collector had given me a gift. A curse, perhaps, but a gift nonetheless. Ever since then, I've been able to see things that others can't. Shadows move where there should be none, and whispers fill the air when no one is around. But I'm not afraid anymore, because I know that I have something that the collector doesn't. A gift that makes me stronger than he could ever imagine.